The security camera footage loaded at 11:47 p.m. on a Tuesday. I hadn't planned to watch it. The system was Claire's idea, installed after the break-ins on Maple Street last spring, 3 houses down. For safety, she'd said. I'd nodded, signed the check, forgot about it. But Tuesday night, I couldn't sleep. The house felt wrong. Conversations that stopped when I entered rooms. Claire's phone face down on the kitchen counter. Nathan's visit Sunday afternoon. He'd stayed 2 hours, talked to Claire in the sunroom with the door closed, left without saying goodbye. So I opened the app, scrolled back through Monday. Nothing. Sunday. There. 3:14 p.m. Before we continue, tell me where you're watching from in the comments. I love seeing how far our stories reach. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe. New stories every day. Sunroom camera. Nathan sitting on the wicker couch, Claire across from him in the chair I'd bought her for Christmas. Her lips moved. The audio was poor, wind rattling the French doors, muffling voices. But I turned the volume to maximum and leaned close to the laptop screen. When Grandpa dies, the fortune will be ours. Your father won't get a cent. I stopped the video, rewound, played it again. When Grandpa dies, the fortune will be ours. Your father won't get a cent. Nathan's face was partially obscured by the rubber plant, but I saw him nod. Once, slow. My hands were steady on the keyboard. That surprised me. I thought they'd shake. I replayed it a third time, adjusted the audio settings, increased the treble. Claire's voice sharpened. Richard's lawyer's already confirmed. The primary beneficiary clause means I inherit first. You're secondary. He gets nothing. Nothing. I saved the clip, transferred it to a flash drive, ejected the drive and held it in my palm. Small, silver, lighter than a house key. Outside, the live oak in the backyard moved in the wind. Its branches scraped the window, a sound I'd heard for 14 years, ever since Claire and I bought this house in Cary. 14 years. I was 58 now. She was 52. We'd married in 2011, 3 years after Maggie died. 3 years of grief counseling, and Nathan's silent accusation. You replaced her too fast. Maybe he was right. I closed the laptop. The bedroom was dark, except for the clock. 12:03 a.m. Claire slept beside me, her breathing even. She'd gone to bed at 10, kissed my forehead, said, "Don't stay up too late." Like she cared. Like she hadn't just told our son I'd get nothing. Richard, 79 years old, heart failure. The doctors gave him a year, maybe 2. 4-bedroom house on Oberlin Road worth $1.2 million textiles money, retired 98, widowed 2015. Claire was his only child. Richard called me son. When I had my accident in 2018, truck ran a red light, crushed my left leg, ended my accounting career. He visited every day for 2 weeks. Brought chest problems, sat by the window, didn't say much. When insurance didn't cover everything, he wrote a check for $8,000, handed it to Claire. Family takes care of family. I looked at Claire sleeping, smooth face. She'd lost weight, started running, expensive moisturizer in the cabinet, $140 a jar. Maggie died 16 years ago, breast cancer, 46. And now this. I opened the nightstand drawer, pulled out the flash drive, put it back, pulled it out again. The phone on my nightstand read 12:29 a.m. I could confront Claire in the morning. Lay the flash drive on the breakfast table. Play the video. Watch her face. Or I could wait. Document. Prepare. I thought about Richard's will. He'd mentioned it once, 2 Christmases ago. We were sitting on his porch drinking coffee. Got my affairs in order, he'd said. Lawyers, will, all that. Donna made me promise before she passed. Donna, his wife, Claire's mother, dead 9 years, ovarian cancer. Put in a morality clause, Richard continued. Baptist thing. My daddy did it, his daddy did it. Beneficiaries have to maintain ethical conduct, provable, otherwise they're out. I'd asked what ethical conduct meant. He'd shrugged. Lawyers wrote it fancy. Basically, don't be a crook. Don't abandon family. Don't lie for money. Old-fashioned, I guess. But it's my money. I stared at the ceiling. Morality clause. Claire shifted beside me, murmured something, didn't wake. I got up, slow, Quiet. Walked to the bathroom, closed the door, turned on the light. My reflection looked older than 58. Gray stubble, lines around my eyes. The cane leaning against the sink. I opened the medicine cabinet. Claire's pills were there. Multivitamin, calcium, something for migraines. Behind them, pushed to the back, was the bottle of Xanax I'd been prescribed after the accident. I hadn't taken one in 4 years. I closed the cabinet, looked at my face again. Nathan had nodded. Once, slow. I turned off the light, went back to bed. Claire hadn't moved. At 6:40 a.m., my alarm went off. Claire stirred, rolled over, kissed my shoulder. "Morning," she said, soft, warm, like nothing was wrong. "Morning," I said. She got up, went to the bathroom. I heard the shower start. I lay there and listened to the water run and thought about the flash drive in the nightstand drawer and the morality clause and Richard on his porch saying, beneficiaries have to maintain ethical conduct. Provable. Provable. I got up, dressed, went downstairs, made coffee. The kitchen smelled like the lemon cleaner Claire used on the counters. The live oak outside the window moved in the morning breeze, its leaves catching sunlight. Claire came down at 7:15, hair wet, jeans and a sweater. She poured coffee, added cream, leaned against the counter. "Sleep okay?" she asked. "Fine," I said. Nathan texted, "Wants to bring Jackson over Saturday, maybe lunch?" "Sure," she smiled, sipped her coffee. "I was thinking we could grill. It's supposed to be nice." "Okay." She looked at me. "You seem quiet." "Tired." She nodded, set down her mug, kissed my cheek. "I've got errands. Back by noon." She left. I heard the garage door open, her car start, the door close. I sat at the kitchen table with my coffee and looked at the live oak and thought about the flash drive upstairs and the video of my wife telling my son I'd get nothing and the morality clause that could change everything. The oak's branches moved. The light shifted. I finished my coffee and went upstairs to get the flash drive and make a phone call. Richard's lawyer was named Dr. Martin Brennan. No relation, just coincidence, small town thing. His office was on Hillsborough Street near the Capitol. I'd met him once, at Richard's 75th birthday party. Tall man, glasses, firm handshake. I called at 8:30 a.m. "Brennan and Associates. I need to speak with Dr. Brennan. It's about Richard Brennan's estate." A pause. "May I ask who's calling?" "William Hayes, Richard's son-in-law." Another pause. One moment. I waited, looked out the bedroom window, the oak, the sky. A cardinal landed on a branch, stayed for 3 seconds, flew away. "Mr. Hayes." Dr. Brennan's voice was neutral, professional. "How can I help you?" "I have information," I said. "About the morality clause." Silence. Then, "I see. Can you come to my office?" "When?" "Today, 2 o'clock. "I'll be there." He hung up. I held the phone and looked at the flash drive on the desk and thought about Claire at her errands, and Nathan bringing Jackson on Saturday, and Richard dying in a year or two, and the fortune that was supposed to be ours. Except it wasn't ours. It was theirs. And I was nothing. I picked up the flash drive, put it in my pocket. The weight was barely noticeable. Outside, the oak kept moving. The cardinal came back. I watched it until Claire's car pulled into the driveway at 11:52 a.m., 8 minutes early, carrying shopping bags I knew we couldn't afford. Dr. Brennan's office smelled like old paper and lemon polish. Second floor, corner suite, windows overlooking Hillsborough Street. I sat in a leather chair across from his desk while he watched the video on my flash drive. His face didn't change. Lawyers learn that early, I suppose. When it finished, he looked at me. "May I keep this? I have copies. How many people know?" "Just you." He ejected the drive, set it on his desk between us. The morality clause in Richard's will is explicit. Beneficiaries must maintain ethical conduct. Any attempt to defraud, manipulate, or conspire against other beneficiaries results in immediate disqualification. What happens to their share? Redistributed. In this case, it would go to you and Nathan equally, plus the minor, your grandson Jackson. I watched a pigeon land on the window ledge outside. How long does it take? To invoke the clause? I'd need to present evidence to Richard. He'd have to agree. Then we'd file an amendment. 2 weeks, maybe 3. And if Richard dies before then, the will is executed as written, unless we have documented proof of violation filed prior to death. He leaned back. Mr. Hayes, I need to ask, does Richard know about this? No. Will you tell him? I thought about Richard on his porch. Coffee, chest problems. Family takes care of family. Not yet. Dr. Brennan nodded slowly. Then I'll hold this. If you change your mind, call me. If Richard's condition worsens suddenly, call me immediately. I stood, shook his hand, left. The drive home took 20 minutes. Traffic on Wade Avenue, construction on Harrison. I parked in the driveway at 3:47 p.m. Claire's car was there. Music coming from the kitchen, something classical, piano. She liked Chopin. I found her making dinner. Chicken breasts on the counter, vegetables chopped, wine glass half empty beside the cutting board. You're back, she said, smiled. How was your day? Fine, errands. Me too, grocery store, dry cleaning. She sipped her wine. Nathan confirmed Saturday, noon. I'm thinking chicken, corn, that pasta salad Jackson likes. Sounds good. She looked at me. You okay? You seem distant, tired. Maybe you should rest before dinner. I went upstairs, lay on the bed, stared at the ceiling. Downstairs Chopin continued. Claire's knife on the cutting board. Rhythmic. Steady. My phone buzzed. Text from Nathan. Looking forward to Saturday. Jackson wants to show you his new bike. I typed back. Great. 3 dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again. Then, thanks, Dad. I set the phone on the nightstand, closed my eyes, thought about the video. Nathan nodding, once, slow. Saturday arrived clear and warm, 72 degrees, blue sky, perfect for grilling. Nathan showed up at 11:58 a.m. with Jackson and his wife, Emily. Jackson ran to me immediately. Pop, look. He pointed at the driveway where a red bicycle with training wheels leaned against Nathan's car. That's a good-looking bike, I said. Dad got it for my birthday. Did he now? Nathan carried a cooler. Set it on the patio table. Emily hugged Claire. They went inside together, talking about something I didn't catch. Beer? Nathan asked. Sure. He handed me a bottle, twisted off his own cap. We stood by the grill while Claire and Emily brought out food. Jackson rode his bike in circles on the driveway, making engine noises. He's getting big, I said. 6 now, can't believe it. Nathan drank. School's good. Teacher says he's reading above grade level. That's great. Silence. Not comfortable, just empty. How's work? I asked. Busy, new software rollout. You know how it is. I didn't, but I nodded. Claire came out with chicken on a platter. Nathan, can you help me with the corn? Sure. He went inside. I stayed by the grill, watched Jackson ride. The live oak's shadow stretched across the lawn. Inside, their voices, low. I couldn't make out words, but I recognized the tone. Conspiratorial, like Sunday afternoon in the sunroom. I stepped closer to the window, tilted my head. Talked to the lawyer yet? Nathan's voice. Not yet. Waiting for the right time. Claire. Dad's been acting strange. Strange how? Quiet, distant, like he knows something. He can't know. We were careful. A pause. Then Claire. We need to move faster. Richard's condition. Emily called from the living room. Nathan, can you help me with Jackson's bag? Their voices stopped. Nathan left the kitchen. Claire stayed. I heard her phone buzz. She answered quietly. Hi, Dr. Patterson. Yes, I got your message. Thursday at 2? Perfect. Thank you. Dr. Patterson, Richard's cardiologist. I went back to the grill, turned the chicken. The fat dripped and flared. Claire came out with corn, smiling like nothing happened. Lunch was polite. Small talk. Emily asked about my leg. I said fine. Nathan cut his chicken into small, precise pieces, didn't look up. After lunch, Jackson showed me bike tricks in the driveway. Nathan joined us, hands in pockets. We watched Jackson ride, sun warm, breeze through the oak. For a moment it felt normal. Then Nathan said, Dad, can I ask you something? Sure. Are you and Claire doing okay? Financially, I mean. I looked at him. Why do you ask? Just, Mom mentioned you've been stressed about money. We're fine. Because if you need anything, we're fine, Nathan. He nodded, looked away. Okay, just wanted to check. Inside, Claire laughed at something Emily said. The sound carried through the screen door, bright, easy. Nathan, I said, when's the last time you saw Richard? He hesitated. Last week, Wednesday, I think. Took Jackson over. How's he doing? Tired, but good. You know, Grandpa, still sharp. He mention anything? About his will, estate, anything like that? Nathan's face changed. Subtle. A tightening around his eyes. No. Why? Just curious. Dad, is something... We should head back. Claire appeared at the door. Emily's not feeling well. The heat, I think. Nathan looked relieved. Yeah, okay. They gathered their things. Jackson hugged me. Bye, Pop. Bye, buddy. Nathan shook my hand. Thanks for lunch. Anytime. They left. Claire and I cleaned up in silence. She washed dishes. I dried. The kitchen smelled like dish soap and lemon cleaner. Nice day, she said. Yes. Jackson's getting so big. Yes. She looked at me. William, are you sure you're okay? I'm fine. You barely said anything at lunch. I'm tired. She dried her hands, came close, put her hand on my chest. You'd tell me if something was wrong, wouldn't you? I looked at her face, smooth, concerned, the same face that had whispered to Nathan about my inheritance. Of course, I said. She kissed my cheek. I'm going to lie down. Wake me for dinner? Sure. She went upstairs. I heard the bedroom door close. I stood in the kitchen with the dish towel and looked at the live oak through the window and thought about Dr. Patterson and Thursday at 2, and Nathan asking about money and the morality clause sitting in Dr. Brennan's office waiting for a phone call. My phone was in my pocket. I pulled it out, opened the voice recorder app, pressed record, walked to the foot of the stairs. Upstairs, Claire's voice, muffled, on the phone. Thursday. I need to be there when he updates it. No. William doesn't know, he won't. He's too passive. I know. Just trust me. It'll be fine. 2 months, maybe 3, and it's done. I stopped recording, saved the file, labeled it May 11th, 4:34 p.m. Then I called Dr. Brennan. He answered on the second ring. Mr. Hayes, I need to file the amendment, I said, as soon as possible. Understood. I'll prepare the documents. Can you come in Monday? Yes, 9 a.m. I'll be there. I hung up, looked at the stairs. Claire was still talking upstairs, her voice a low murmur through the ceiling. I went outside, sat on the patio. The oak's shadow covered half the yard now. A cardinal landed on a low branch. Stayed. Didn't fly away this time. My phone buzzed. Text from Nathan. Thanks again for today. Jackson had a great time. I looked at the message for a long time, then typed, we need to talk, just you and me, soon. 3 dots appeared, disappeared. No response came. The cardinal flew away. The shadow lengthened. Inside, Claire's voice finally stopped. I sat there until the sun touched the trees, and the air turned cool, and the house behind me filled with silence that felt like a held breath before something breaks. Monday morning. Dr. Brennan's office again. Same leather chair, different light. Rain against the windows, gray sky, everything muted. He slid 3 documents across his desk. The amendment to Richard's will. It invokes the morality clause based on documented evidence of conspiracy to defraud. I need your signature on page 7. I read every word. Legal language. Dense, but clear enough. Claire Ann Hayes, née Brennan, removed as primary beneficiary due to violation of ethical conduct standards as outlined in Article 7, Section 3. I signed. Dated it. May 13th, 2024. What happens now? I present this to Richard. He'll need to sign. Then it's filed with the court and notarized. Dr. Brennan folded his hands. Mr. Hayes, you should know. Once Richard signs this, it's permanent. Claire won't inherit. Not a dollar. Are you prepared for what comes after? What comes after? She'll know, eventually. and she'll blame you. I thought about Claire upstairs on her phone. 2 months, maybe 3, and it's done. I'm prepared. Nathan will find out too. I know. He nodded slowly. I'll call you after I speak with Richard, probably Wednesday. I left, drove home through rain. The wipers squeaked. Traffic on Wade Avenue crawled. By the time I pulled into the driveway, it was 10:47 a.m. Claire's car was gone. A note on the counter. Errands. Back by 3. Leftover chicken in fridge. I ate standing up. Cold chicken. No plate. Stared out the window at the oak. Rain dripped from its leaves. The cardinal was back, huddled on a branch, feathers puffed. My phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer. Mr. Hayes, this is Linda Chen from First National Bank. I'm calling about your joint account with Claire Hayes. There's been unusual activity. My chest tightened. What kind of activity? Large transfer, $22,000, Friday afternoon, to an external account. The memo says investment property deposit. I wanted to verify it was authorized. It wasn't. Silence then. I see. Would you like to freeze the account now? I'll need to speak with both account holders to freeze it. I'm the primary. Check your records. A pause. Keyboard clicks. You're correct. I can place a temporary hold pending investigation. That'll take 48 hours. Do it. She did. I hung up. Sat at the kitchen table. $22,000. 8 months ago, we had $87,000 in that account. I'd contributed $62,000 from selling my accounting practice after the accident. Claire had added $25,000 from her mother's life insurance. Now $22,000 was gone. Plus the $18,000 I'd found before. That was $40,000. Almost half. I opened my laptop, logged into the bank. Transaction history loaded. Friday, 4:17 p.m., $22,000 to account ending in 9847. Memo. Investment property deposit. I scrolled back. April 19th, $6,500. Legal consultation, March 30th, $4,200. Estate planning, February 12th, $7,300. Investment advisor, $40,000 gone. While I sat here thinking we were saving for retirement, I called Dr. Brennan. He answered immediately. It's worse than I thought, I said. She's been stealing. $40,000. Maybe more. From a joint account? Yes. Then legally it's not theft. She has equal access. But I didn't authorize. Doesn't matter. Joint means joint. He paused. But it does strengthen the morality clause case. It shows intent, financial manipulation. I'll add it to the documentation. When can you see Richard? Tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. I'll call you after. I hung up, looked at the screen. All those transfers, all those memos, all while she kissed my cheek and made dinner and asked if I was okay. The front door opened. Claire came in carrying shopping bags, department store logos. Belk, Nordstrom. You're home, she said. Smiled. I thought you had errands. Finished early. She set the bags on the couch. I found the cutest dress for Emily's birthday dinner. Want to see? No. She turned. No? I'm tired. William, you've been tired for 2 weeks. Maybe you should see Dr. Morrison. Maybe. She came closer, touched my arm. I'm worried about you. I looked at her hand. Manicured nails. $45 at the salon every 2 weeks. I'd seen the charges. I'm fine, I said. She studied my face. Okay, I'm going to start dinner. She went to the kitchen. I heard her open the fridge. Cabinets. The oven preheating. Normal sounds. Domestic. Safe. I went upstairs, opened the closet, pulled out the file box from the top shelf. Inside, our marriage certificate, birth certificates, my discharge papers from rehab after the accident, insurance documents. At the bottom, a manila envelope. I opened it. Inside, the deed to the house. Purchased 2012. $340,000. Joint ownership. But I'd made the down payment. $68,000. My money. From the practice sale, I photographed the deed, the payment receipt. Everything. My phone buzzed. Text from Nathan. Dad, we need to talk. When are you free? I stared at the message. We need to talk. Not him needing to talk to me. Him needing to talk. Like he had something to say. Something prepared. I typed, Wednesday afternoon, 2 p.m. Meet me at Cup A Joe on Maynard. 3 dots. Then, okay. Not okay, just okay. Short. Terse. I put the phone down, looked at the deed. The house we'd lived in for 12 years, the house I'd paid for, the house she was probably planning to take. Downstairs, Claire called out, "Dinner in 20." "Okay," I said. I put the documents back, closed the box, slid it onto the shelf. Everything in order, everything documented. Tuesday dragged. I sat in the living room, pretended to read, watched the clock. Dr. Brennan was seeing Richard at 9. It was 9:23, then 9:47, then 10:15. Claire left at 10:30. "Book club," she said. "Back by 3. She didn't have a book. At 11:08, my phone rang. "It's done," Dr. Brennan said. Richard signed. He was upset, angry, but he signed. Did he say anything? He said, "I raised her better than this." Then he asked me to make sure you and Nathan were taken care of, especially Jackson. My throat tightened. "What about Claire?" He said, "She made her choice. Now she lives with it." "When does it take effect?" "It's already filed, notarized, legally binding. When Richard passes, the will executes as amended. Claire gets nothing. The estate is split between you, Nathan, and a trust for Jackson." I sat down. The room felt smaller. "How much?" "Richard's estate is approximately $2 million. Cash, property, investments. Under the new will, you receive 40%, Nathan 30%. Jackson's trust gets 30%. 40%. $480,000, more than I'd ever had. "Mr. Hayes, I'm here. Richard wants to see you. Friday, 3 o'clock. Can you make it?" "Yes." "Good. And Mr. Hayes, be prepared. This is going to get difficult." He hung up. I sat there holding the phone. Outside, rain had started again. The oak bent in the wind. Leaves tore loose and scattered across the lawn. Claire came home at 2:43, 17 minutes early. She looked flushed, happy. "How was book club?" "Great. We're reading Educated. You'd like it." "Probably." She went upstairs. I heard the shower. Water running. Then silence. At 4:30 my phone buzzed. Text from unknown number. "This is Richard. Thank you for telling me the truth. I'm sorry you had to be the one to do it." I didn't respond. Didn't know what to say. Another text. "Take care of Nathan. He's going to need you." I typed, "I will." 3 dots. Then, "She was my daughter, but family means honesty." She forgot that. The dots disappeared. No more messages came. That night, Claire made pasta, garlic bread, salad. We ate at the table. She talked about book club, someone's vacation, someone's daughter's wedding. I nodded, said nothing. After dinner, she did dishes. I dried. The routine was comfortable, familiar. Like nothing had changed, but everything had changed. Later, in bed, she curled against me, her breath warm on my shoulder. "William?" "Yes." "I love you." 3 words. Simple. She'd said them 1,000 times. "I love you too," I said, because I didn't know what else to say. Because the truth, that I'd spent 2 weeks documenting her betrayal, that I'd invoked a legal clause that would cost her $1 million, that I was meeting our son tomorrow to tell him everything, that truth would come soon enough. She fell asleep. I lay there listening to her breathe and the rain against the window and the oak branches scraping the glass. At 2:14 a.m., I got up, went downstairs, made coffee, sat at the kitchen table in the dark. The cardinal was invisible in the oak, but I knew it was there, waiting for light, waiting for morning. Wednesday would bring Nathan. Friday would bring Richard. And eventually, maybe next week, maybe next month, the truth would surface. Claire would know. Nathan would know. Everyone would know. I drank my coffee, watched the window. The sky was black, no stars, just rain and wind and the oak holding steady in the storm. My phone sat on the table, silent. No messages, no calls. Just the sound of Claire sleeping upstairs, and my own breathing, and the slow, steady tick of the clock measuring the hours until everything broke open. Cup A Joe sat on Maynard near the university. Small place, 6 tables, espresso machine hissing, students typing on laptops. I arrived at 1:52 p.m., ordered black coffee, sat by the window. Nathan walked in at 2:03, saw me, hesitated. came over. Dad. Nathan. He sat, didn't order anything, hands flat on the table. I need to tell you something. Okay. He looked at his hands. Claire came to me 6 months ago. Said Grandpa Richard was updating his will. Said there was a way to make sure the money stayed in the family, that you'd be taken care of no matter what. I said nothing. She said Grandpa was planning to leave most of it to charity, church missions, that kind of thing. She said if we didn't act, you'd get almost nothing, that we needed to convince him to structure it differently. And you believed her. He stopped. Yes, I believed her. Why? Because she's family. Because she said it was for you. For Jackson's future. He finally looked at me. Because I wanted to believe her. The espresso machine hissed. Someone laughed. Normal sounds. Normal day. What did she ask you to do? Nathan swallowed. She wanted me to talk to Grandpa. Convince him to make her the primary beneficiary, with secondary distributions to me and Jackson. She said it was a tax strategy, that you'd still get support, but it would be structured better. And you talked to him, twice, March and April. I told him Claire could manage the estate better, that she had experience with investments, that it would be easier than splitting it multiple ways. His voice cracked. I told him you'd want it that way. I drank my coffee. It was cold. Last week, Grandpa called me. Nathan's hands were shaking now. He asked if I knew about the morality clause, if Claire had mentioned it. I said no. He said, good, because someone tried to violate it, and I need to know if you were part of it. What did you say? I said I didn't know what he was talking about. He was quiet for a long time. Then he said, your father loves you. Remember that. Nathan wiped his eyes. Dad, what's happening? I pulled out my phone, opened the video, slid it across the table. Watch. He watched. His face went white. When it finished, he set the phone down like it might burn him. That's from Sunday, May 5th, the camera in the sunroom. Dad, I didn't. She said, I know what she said. I also know what she did. I pulled out my other phone. The bank statements, the transfers, all of it. She's been stealing from our joint account. $40,000 over 4 months. Investment property. Legal fees, estate planning. None of it real. Nathan stared at the papers. Jesus. Monday I filed an amendment to Richard's will. The morality clause was invoked. Claire's removed as beneficiary. The estate goes to me, you, and a trust for Jackson. He looked up. You already filed? Richard signed it Tuesday morning. Does she know? Not yet. Nathan leaned back, ran his hands through his hair. What happens now? Friday. I'm seeing Richard. After that. I folded the papers, put them away. After that, everyone knows. She's going to lose everything. Yes. Because of me. Because I helped her. I looked at my son. 30 years old, his mother's eyes. My nose. Crying in a coffee shop at 2:15 on a Wednesday afternoon. Nathan, did you know about the money she was taking? No. Did you know she was planning to exclude me completely? No, I swear, she said. I know what she said. I finished my coffee. You were manipulated. She used you. That's on her, not you. But I should have seen it. I should have questioned. You trusted family. There's no crime in that. He wiped his face. What do you want me to do? Nothing. Stay out of it. When she finds out, she'll try to turn you against me. Don't let her. I won't. And Nathan, when this is over, we need to talk. Really talk. About your mother. About us. About all of it. He nodded, couldn't speak. I stood, put money on the table. I'll call you after I see Richard. Dad? He looked up. I'm sorry. I know. I left. Walked to my car. Behind me, through the window, Nathan sat alone at the table, staring at nothing. Thursday passed slowly. Claire was gone most of the day. Shopping, she said. Maybe lunch with Patricia. She came home at 4, happy, light, humming while she made dinner. How was your day? She asked. Fine. Mine too. Patricia and I went to that new bistro on Glenwood. You'd like it. Probably. She looked at me. You're quiet again. Tired. You're always tired lately. Maybe I'm getting old. She smiled, touched my face. You're not old, just worn out. We should take a vacation, somewhere warm. The beach, maybe. Maybe. That night she fell asleep with her head on my chest, her breath even and slow. I stared at the ceiling and thought about tomorrow and Richard and what would come after. At midnight, my phone buzzed. Text from Dr. Brennan. Richard asks if you can come earlier, 1 p.m. instead of 3. He's feeling weak. I texted back, I'll be there. Friday, rain again. I left at 12:30, told Claire I had a doctor's appointment. Want me to come? She asked. No, just routine. Okay, I'll make something nice for dinner. Celebrate the weekend. Sure. Richard's house on Oberlin Road looked smaller than I remembered. The porch sagged slightly, paint peeling on the shutters, an old man's house slowly declining. I knocked, waited. The door opened. Richard stood there, thinner than last month, grayer, but his eyes were sharp. William, come in. The living room smelled like coffee and old wood. He gestured to the couch. I sat. He took the recliner. You look good, I said. You're a terrible liar. He smiled, but I appreciate it. We sat in silence. Outside, rain tapped the windows. Martin told me everything, Richard said. The video, the money, all of it. I'm sorry you had to find out that way. I'm sorry it happened at all. He coughed, long and wet. I raised her alone after Donna died. Maybe that's where I went wrong. Spoiled her. Let her think she was entitled. You did your best. Did I? He looked at me. She's my daughter. I love her. But what she did to you, to Nathan, that's not love. That's greed. I didn't argue. The will's changed. You know that. She gets nothing. You, Nathan, and Jackson split it all. $1.2 million. He paused. I wish it was more. It's more than enough. Martin says she'll fight it. Lawyers, court, all that mess. Let her fight. He nodded. There's something else. He reached beside the chair, pulled out an envelope, handed it to me. For when I'm gone, don't open it now. Just when the time comes. I took it. Heavy. Something inside. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, William, for being honest, for having the guts to tell me. He coughed again. Most people would have stayed quiet, taken the money, moved on. But you didn't. I couldn't. I know. That's why you're a good man. We talked for another hour. About Nathan, Jackson, the house, small things, easy things. At 2:30, I stood to leave. William, Richard called from the recliner. Don't let her destroy you. She'll try. But don't let her. I won't. I left. Drove home through rain. The envelope sat on the passenger seat. I didn't open it. Claire was in the kitchen when I got home. Chicken roasting, vegetables on the stove, wine breathing on the counter. How was the doctor? Fine. Everything's fine. Good. She poured wine, handed me a glass. I was thinking, let's go somewhere next month. Outer Banks. Just us. What do you think? I thought about the envelope, the will, the morality clause, the money she'd stolen and the lies she'd told, and the way she was smiling at me now like nothing had changed. Sure, I said. Sounds nice. We ate dinner, talked about nothing. She mentioned Emily's birthday party next weekend. Asked if we should bring wine or dessert. I said wine. After dinner, we watched TV, some crime show. She curled against me, her hand on my chest. At 10, we went to bed. She fell asleep first. I lay there listening to the rain, and her breathing, and the oak branches against the window. My phone buzzed. Text from Dr. Brennan. Claire's lawyer contacted me today. She knows. Expect contact soon. I deleted the message, set the phone on the nightstand, closed my eyes. She knows. Tomorrow would bring questions, accusations, anger, but tonight she slept beside me, unaware that everything had already changed, that the house was mine, the money was mine, the future was mine, and she had nothing left but lies that didn't work anymore. Outside, the rain fell harder. The cardinal was somewhere in the oak, sheltered and still, waiting for morning. I waited too. Saturday morning, 7:15. Claire's phone rang. She answered in the bathroom. I heard her voice through the door, sharp, then louder. What do you mean, removed? That's impossible. Silence. I don't understand. Richard signed. No, he promised. Silence. I'm calling him right now. She came out. face pale, phone gripped tight. I need to see my father. Okay. Now. Right now. She dressed fast. Jeans, sweater, no makeup, hair pulled back. She was out the door in 10 minutes, didn't say goodbye. I sat on the bed, waited. My phone buzzed. Dr. Brennan, Richard wants you there. Can you come? On my way. I drove to Oberlin Road. Claire's car was already in the driveway. I parked behind it, walked to the door, knocked. Richard opened it. William, come in. The living room felt smaller with 3 people. Claire stood by the fireplace, arms crossed, eyes red. You, she said when she saw me. You did this. Claire, Richard started. No, Dad. He did this. He went behind my back, poisoned you against me. He showed me the truth, Richard said. Quiet, firm. What truth? That I wanted to take care of my family? That I wanted to make sure everyone was provided for? I stayed by the door, said nothing. Richard went to his desk, pulled out a folder. Martin gave me copies, all of it. He opened it. Video from William's security camera. May 5th. You and Nathan discussing my estate. Your exact words. When Grandpa dies, the fortune will be ours. Your father won't get a cent. Claire's face changed. That was taken out of context. What context? Richard's voice hardened. What context makes that acceptable? I was protecting the family. William doesn't understand money. He'd lose it all. Stop. Richard held up his hand. Just stop. He pulled out another paper. Bank statements. Joint account with William. You transferred $40,000 over 4 months. Investment property, legal fees, estate planning. William never authorized any of it. That's our money. Joint account means. It means you stole from your husband while pretending to love him. Richard's voice cracked. You're my daughter. I loved you. I provided for you. And you repaid me with lies. Claire turned to me. You're really going to stand there and say nothing? I looked at her. What do you want me to say? That this is a mistake. That we can fix it. It's not a mistake. William, please. Think about us. 14 years. Everything we built. You built it on lies. Her face twisted. You self-righteous. You think you're so perfect? You were nothing when we met. Broken. Pathetic. I gave you a life again. You gave me a wife who was waiting for her father to die so she could steal his money. She slapped me. Hard. The sound cracked through the room. Richard moved between us. Claire, leave. Dad, leave, now. This is my house too. You can't. It's my house. My name on the deed. And I'm telling you to leave. She stared at him, then at me. You'll regret this. Both of you. She grabbed her purse, walked out, slammed the door. Her car started. Tires squealed. Richard sat heavily in his recliner. I'm sorry you had to see that. It's okay. No, it's not. He looked old suddenly, exhausted. That's my daughter. I raised her. And I didn't see this coming. None of us did. We sat in silence. Outside, a car pulled up. Door slammed. Footsteps on the porch. Nathan. He came in without knocking. Saw me. Saw Richard. Claire just called. She's hysterical. What happened? Richard told him. Everything. The video. The money. The will. Nathan listened. Didn't interrupt. When Richard finished, Nathan sat on the couch. Put his head in his hands. I helped her, he said. I talked to you about making her primary beneficiary. I thought, she said it was to protect Dad. I know, Richard said. William told me. Nathan looked at me. You knew? When we met Wednesday, you already knew I'd talked to Grandpa? Yes. Why didn't you say anything? Because you needed to tell me yourself. He stood, paced. This is insane. She used me. She used all of us. Yes, Richard said. She did. Nathan stopped. What happens now? The will stands as amended. Claire gets nothing. The 3 of you, William, Jackson, split everything. I don't want it. Nathan, I don't want money I got by being manipulated, by lying to you. Richard's voice softened. You were lied to. There's a difference. Is there? Yes. Richard coughed, long and wet. Nathan moved toward him, but Richard waved him off. I'm fine. Sit down. Nathan sat. Richard pulled out 3 envelopes. White, sealed, names written on each. Nathan, William, Jackson. I wrote these after Martin told me everything. Letters, for each of you. He handed them out. Don't open them now. Open them when I'm gone. Grandpa, Nathan's voice broke. It's okay. I'm an old man. Heart's failing. We all know it. Richard smiled, sad. I want you to have something from me. Not just money, words, truth. I held the envelope. Same weight as the one from yesterday. 2 now. Nathan, Richard said, do you blame your father for any of this? Nathan looked at me. No. Good. Because he did the hardest thing. He told the truth, knowing it would destroy his marriage. Knowing it would hurt. That takes courage. I know. Do you forgive him? For whatever distance has been between you since your mother died? Nathan was quiet for a long time. Then, yes, Richard nodded. William, do you forgive Nathan for being manipulated? For talking to me about the will? Yes, I said. I already told him that. Good. Then you're both free. Richard leaned back, closed his eyes. Free from her. Free from the lies. Free to be family again. We sat there. 3 generations, broken and mending. After a while, Nathan said, What do we do about Claire? Nothing, I said. She's not our problem anymore. She's going to fight this. Lawyers, court. Let her fight. Richard opened his eyes. The will is airtight. Martin made sure. She has no case. She'll waste money on lawyers and lose. What if she comes after Dad? Tries to claim the house or... The house is in my name, I said. I made the down payment. I have the deed, the receipts, everything documented. Nathan looked relieved. You planned for this. I documented everything. There's a difference. Not much of one. Maybe he was right. We stayed until 4. Richard got tired. We helped him to his bedroom. He waved us off at the door. Go home, both of you. Live your lives. Nathan and I stood in the driveway. Rain had started again, light, misting. Do you want to get coffee? Nathan asked. Talk? Yes. We went to Cup of Joe, same place as Wednesday, different day. I'm sorry, Nathan said, for believing her, for not seeing it. You loved her. She was family. After Mom died, I blamed you, for moving on, for Claire. He looked at his cup. But you were just lonely. And she took advantage. I want to be better, he said. Better son, better father. You already are. We talked about Jackson, Emily, work. The distance between us felt smaller. At 6, Nathan left. I sat alone for a while, watched rain on the window, thought about Claire somewhere, furious and planning. Thought about Richard in his house, dying slowly. Thought about Nathan trying to be better. My phone buzzed. Text from Claire. We need to talk. I deleted it. Another text. You can't ignore me forever. I blocked her number. I drove home. The house was dark, empty. Claire hadn't come back. I turned on lights, made coffee, sat at the kitchen table. The envelope from Richard was in my pocket. I pulled it out, looked at my name in his handwriting. Neat, steady. I opened it. Inside, a letter. 2 pages. Handwritten. William, if you're reading this, I'm gone. I'm sorry for that. Sorry I won't be there to see Jackson grow up. Sorry I won't see how this all turns out. But I'm not sorry for what I did. You deserved the truth. You deserved justice. And you deserved someone in your corner. Claire is my daughter. I love her. But love doesn't mean accepting betrayal. You taught me that. By standing up. By refusing to be invisible. The money is yours. Use it well. Not for revenge, not for waste. Use it to build something good. For you. For Nathan. For Jackson. You're a good man, William. Better than you think. Don't let this break you. Stay strong, stay honest. And when the cardinal comes to your oak tree, remember, some things survive winter. Richard, I read it twice, folded it, put it back in the envelope. Outside, the oak moved in the wind. Rain dripped from its leaves. The cardinal was there, red against dark branches, waiting. I sat at the table until midnight, alone in the house, alone with the truth, but not lonely anymore. Richard died on a Tuesday in November. Heart failure. Peaceful, the hospice nurse said. He was asleep. Nathan called me at 6:20 a.m. I was already awake, coffee made, watching the cardinal in the oak. Grandpa's gone, he said. Voice steady, sad but not broken. I'll be there in 20 minutes. The Brennan house felt different without Richard in it. Smaller, colder. Nathan was in the living room with Emily. Jackson sat on the couch, quiet, not understanding why everyone looked sad. We made arrangements. Funeral home, service, obituary. Richard had planned most of it, left instructions in a folder labeled, "When I'm gone." Even in death, he was organized. The funeral was Friday. Small. Friends from church, neighbors, Dr. Brennan, a few people from the textile plant, retired now, gray and bent. Claire didn't come. She'd tried, stood outside the church. Nathan saw her first, went to talk to her. I watched from the doorway, couldn't hear the words, but I saw her face. Angry, pleading. Nathan shook his head. She left. Inside, we buried Richard next to Donna. Gray sky, cold wind. The minister read from Ecclesiastes. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under heaven. Jackson asked why people put Grandpa Richard in the ground. Nathan knelt, explained about heaven and bodies and souls. Jackson nodded, seemed satisfied. After we went to Richard's house, cleaned it out, sorted belongings. Nathan took the recliner. I took the desk. Emily took Donna's china. Jackson got Richard's chess set. The house sold in January. Wonder. $1 million, split 3 ways per the will. My share, $366,000. Nathan's, $366,000. Jackson's trust, $366,000, plus the $480,000 from Richard's other assets. Investments, savings, life insurance. Total inheritance, $846,000. More money than I'd ever had, more than I'd ever wanted. Claire sued in February, contested the will, claimed undue influence, claimed Richard wasn't of sound mind, claimed I'd manipulated him. Dr. Brennan presented the evidence, video, bank statements, testimony from Richard's doctor confirming mental competence. The morality clause, Richard's letter. The judge dismissed the case in March. Claire was ordered to pay court costs, $12,000. She left town in April, no forwarding address. Nathan heard she moved to Charlotte, found work, started over. I didn't ask for details. I sold the house in Cary in May. Couldn't live there anymore. Too many memories. Claire's coffee cup, her closet. The sunroom where she'd whispered about my inheritance. Sold it for $340,000. Paid off the mortgage. Kept $180,000 after closing costs. With Richard's inheritance and the house sale, I had just over $1 million. I bought a cabin. Small place. 1 bedroom, screened porch. Near Jordan Lake, 40 minutes from Raleigh. Quiet, trees, water. It cost $15,000. I paid cash. The rest went into investments, conservative, bonds, index funds. Nothing risky. Enough to live on. Enough for Nathan if he needed it. Enough for Jackson's college. The cabin had a live oak in the yard, smaller than the one in Cary. But the cardinal found it. I saw it the first morning, red against green. Watching me unpack, I furnished slowly. Bed, table, 2 chairs, couch, bookshelf. Nothing fancy, nothing I didn't need. Nathan helped me move, brought Jackson. Emily made sandwiches. We ate on the porch, watched the lake. Jackson threw rocks in the water, counted splashes. You like it here? Nathan asked. Yes. Quiet. That's why I like it. He nodded. You deserve quiet. Maybe I did. Nathan visited every Sunday. Brought Jackson, sometimes Emily. We'd fish off the dock, grill, play chess. Jackson was learning. Not good yet, but patient. In June, Nathan asked if I was lonely. No, I said. You don't miss? No. He didn't ask again. But I thought about it, about loneliness, about Claire, about Maggie. I didn't miss Claire, missed the idea of her, the version I'd believed in, the partner who cared. But that version never existed. Maggie was different. I thought about her more now. Remembered things I'd forgotten. Her laugh. The way she hummed while cooking. How she'd touch my hand when she passed. Small things. Real things. I kept her photo on the bookshelf now. Me and her and Nathan. 1998. Nathan was 4. We were at the beach, all smiling, all happy. I looked at it sometimes. Remembered what real felt like. In August, Jackson asked if I was sad. We were fishing, sun high, lake calm. He sat next to me, legs swinging, rod in small hands. Why do you ask? Dad says you had a hard year. I did. Are you better now? I thought about it. About Richard. About Claire. About the house I'd left and the cabin I'd found and the cardinal that followed me. Yes, I said. I'm better now. Good. He went back to fishing, kicked his legs, hummed something tuneless, simple. A child's logic, sad then, better now, end of story. I wished it was that simple, but maybe it was. September brought cooler air, leaves starting to turn. I sat on the porch most mornings, drank coffee, watched the lake. The cardinal came every day, same branch, same time. 7:15 a.m. I'd read Richard's letter a dozen times. When the cardinal comes to your oak tree, remember, some things survive winter. I understood now, not just about birds, about people, about survival. I'd survived Claire, survived betrayal, survived the loss of what I'd thought was love. And I was still here. Still standing, still whole. That was enough. October brought Nathan's birthday, 31. We celebrated at the cabin. Emily made cake. Jackson gave him a drawing. Me and Dad fishing, stick figures, big smiles. Nathan hung it on my fridge. After cake, Jackson fell asleep on the couch. Emily covered him with a blanket. Nathan and I sat on the porch. Beers. Silence. Comfortable now. I opened Grandpa's letter, Nathan said. The one he gave me. What did it say? That he was proud of me. That I was a good father. That I should forgive myself for being fooled. He paused. That I should stay close to you. Good advice. Yeah. He drank. Did you open yours? The day he died. It said to use the money well. To build something good. Did you? I looked at the cabin, the lake, the oak, the cardinal's branch. I think so. Nathan nodded. Me too. We sat, watched the sunset, orange and pink. The lake reflected it. Perfect mirror. Dad, Nathan said, thank you. For what? For not giving up. On me, on us, on everything. I didn't know what to say, so I said nothing. Just put my hand on his shoulder, squeezed once. He understood. November came, 1 year since Richard died. I drove to the cemetery, brought flowers, yellow mums. Donna had liked yellow. I stood at the grave. Headstone simple. Richard Allen Brennan, 1945 to 2024. Beloved father and grandfather. Thank you, I said, out loud, alone, for believing me, for standing with me. The wind moved through the trees, cold, sharp, winter coming. I stayed 5 minutes, then left. On the way home, I stopped at the old house in Cary. New owners now, young couple. Baby, minivan in the driveway. The live oak was still there. Bigger, fuller. The cardinal wasn't, but that was okay. It had found me. I drove back to the cabin. Nathan's car was in the driveway. He was sitting on the porch, Jackson beside him. Surprise visit? I asked. Emily's at a conference. Thought we'd come hang out. Good. We went inside. I made lunch, grilled cheese, tomato soup. Jackson ate 3 sandwiches. Growing boy. After lunch, Nathan said, I brought something. He went to his car, came back with lumber, rope, hardware. What's that for? You'll see. We worked all afternoon, building, hammering, measuring. Jackson handed us tools, felt important. By 4 o'clock it was done. A swing, hanging from the oak. Wood seat, strong rope. Jackson climbed on immediately. Push me, Pop. I pushed. He swung, higher, higher, laughing. Nathan stood beside me, both watching. Think it'll hold? Nathan asked. It'll hold. The cardinal landed on a branch above, watched us, red and bright against brown bark. Jackson swung. The sun dipped lower. The lake turned gold. Nathan's phone buzzed. Emily. He answered, talked, hung up. We should head out. School night. Okay. They packed up. Jackson hugged me. Thanks for the swing, Pop. You're welcome, buddy. Nathan shook my hand, held it longer than usual. See you Sunday? See you Sunday. They left. Tail lights disappearing down the dirt road. I sat on the porch, watched the swing move in the breeze. Empty now, but ready, waiting for the next time. The cardinal stayed until dark, then flew away. I knew it would come back. It always did. Inside, I made dinner. Chicken, rice, vegetables, ate at the table, alone. But not lonely. After dinner, I sat by the window, looked at Maggie's photo, touched the frame. "I'm okay now," I said. To her, to the room, to myself. And I was. The house was mine. The money was mine. The future was mine. Not because I'd taken it, but because I'd earned it. By standing up, by telling the truth, by refusing to be invisible. Claire was gone. Richard was gone. The past was done. But Nathan was here. Jackson was here. The cardinal was here. And the oak would survive winter, just like Richard said. I turned off the lights, went to bed. Outside, wind moved through the trees. The swing creaked. The lake whispered. I closed my eyes. And for the first time in years, I slept without dreaming. Morning would come. The cardinal would return. Jackson would swing. Nathan would visit. Life would continue. Quiet, simple, true. And that was enough, more than enough. It was everything.